So someone recently on my Instagram story asked me, what are some of the most common challenges I'm seeing clients face throughout their journey? Now, I've been doing this now for 30 plus years, literally more than 3 decades worth of working with clients one-on-one, not online training, not designing programs, not virtual training, but actually face-to-face working with clients in in real life situation. And there's a couple things that I answered quickly on my story, but the more I'm thinking about it, and I was answering the question yesterday, but now I'm here actually on the floor again after answering the question, and I'm like, one of the biggest challenges I've seen clients face, it's like multi-part answered question. Believing in themselves, right? Number one, they come in here, they show up, and they don't really believe in themselves fully, and they know that they need to do something about their fitness. They need to get stronger. They need to build muscle. Either doctor told them that they need to work on building or strengthening their bones, just for overall health and wellness. And maybe doctor told them they need to lose weight, but that's in addition to the primary reason why we work out is to overall be healthier, right? So believing in themselves that they can actually do something like this, and it could be a little intimidating. I get it. I those of you who know me know that I'm hard on the outside, but I'm a very emotional and internally soft and compassionate, empathetic person, and I will sit there and cry with you if you hit a milestone in your journey. It's just the way I am. It's just the way I'm wired, right? But I guess it can be a little intimidating when somebody walks in the door here and they see me, they see some people who are fit, and they automatically assume that those people didn't go through what they're about to go through, right? So believing in themselves to start something like this. And then once they get rocking and rolling and they're starting to get in a routine, there's going to be there's going to be points in time or parts in their journey where they often feel even more insecure than when they first started, because now they're having to step out of their comfort zone a little bit more. And it's cliche, and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. People talk about it all the time. All the gurus talk about it. All the leaders, all the influencers talk about being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Situation this morning made me think about putting the camera up and doing some more content around what are people struggling with most, or what I see people struggling with most. Situation, it was a young lady was using 2 12-pound dumbbells and doing a floor press, lying on the floor and doing a chest press, right, for the chest and shoulders and delts and all that stuff. So she was doing the press with 12 pounds, and she was able to do 12 reps with 2 12-pound dumbbells. So it's strength week over here and lifted. So I said, let's try to be a little bit more progressive, and let's see if we can go a little bit heavier. So she grabbed the 15-pound dumbbells. Before she even started, she's like, I can't do this. So instantly, when your head goes into a place of like, I can't do it, you can't outthink your brain, if that makes any kind of sense. But instantly, that thought and that emotion of I can't do this is going to prevent you from doing it. So I watched her do 2 12-pound dumbbells 12 times, great form. She picked up the 15-pound dumbbells, which is only 3 pounds heavier on each side. And she literally, I watched her try, and she couldn't move them off the floor. Now, I knew in my head that if she can do 12-pound dumbbells for 12 times, she can definitely do 15-pound dumbbells for at least 3 to 4, at the very least. But in her head, she was stuck on, I can't do this. So I said, all right, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm not here to push you. I'm not with drill sergeant. I'm not going to be yelling at you and making you feel like shit about yourself. That's not my goal. So I like to say I'm a Socratic fanatic. So I ask certain questions to get you to think a little differently about your approach and about, where you are and what you can do. So I want you to figure it out for yourself, because it's not for me to figure it out. I've already figured out my own shit. It's time for you to figure out where you're at and what you can be doing. So little by little, we had the conversation around it, and I was very nice, and I said, I'm never going to put you in a situation where I don't feel safe. I think you could do them. So she's like, I can't. So she walks over, grabs it, and I said, just push, whatever. I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but long story short is that she actually did it. And then instantly she did another one. And then she started building confidence, and then she realized that she could do it. So then she did 8. So she went from not being able to do it to doing 3 sets of 8 with a heavier weight. And I watched it, and it happens all the time here. So it got me thinking about, what do I see people struggle with most? And I think it is that being uncomfortable in a situation with you're dealing with resistance. Her feedback was, it feels like it's just pushing against me. I'm like, well, yes, that's the point. It's the weight is pushing down against you, and you're having to push against that resistance, and that's how you build strength. If not, you're not building strength. So if you go, I'm jumping around a little bit, but if a typical strength training program, a real strength training program, is going to push you out of your comfort zone. I don't want to shit on any other small group, boot camp, cookie cutter, run of the mill, money making fitness factories out there. But a lot of these boot camp styles, they call it strength training, but you're not really strength training. You're not really stepping out of your comfort zone enough that's going to build true strength. So one of the common things that I've seen people struggle with is not believing themselves, number one, and piggybacking off of that would be the fact that they're not really comfortable when that starts giving them some resistance. So avoiding that is not going to get you stronger. And building true strength, whether it be with weight training, whether it be in life, you're going to have some resistance in order to build the strength to push past that resistance. It's that simple. So again, a common thing that I see people struggle with is having that resistance and not pushing through it. We're doing bench press today. It's one of our main lifts, right? So as soon as that weight starts to get heavy, I see people just drop it and they can't do it. Instead of fighting through it and pushing through it, that's where the magic happens with strength training. You can bring it to a spiritual level, right? If you're going through a life experience and you're having some resistance in your life and things aren't going the way you actually want them to go, or you feel that it was supposed to be, you're having a little bit of resistance, are you just going to back down and just kind of surrender to it? That's an option. Option B would be to push through it and fight that resistance and get through it. Now, there's a limit to that. I'm not saying that I'm loading up the barbells with, excessive amount of weights that I know that they can't do just to, have them, feel like they're strong. No, you have to be aware and know that what your limits are. And, when you're doing, a strength training program, you want to be pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So again, I'm going to wrap it up and make it really simple. In order for you to build strength, in order for you to get stronger, in order for you to transform your body and your mind and everything else you want in your life, you're going to have to go through some resistance. And if you just quit, and if you just give up, and if you don't believe in yourself while you're going through that resistance, or when that resistance comes through you or comes to you, then you're not going to ever get past to the other side. I can say it 15 different ways, but I just wanted to make a quick little video here and talk about one of the most common things that I've seen people struggle with is the ability to push past the uncomfortable situations, the uncomfortable weights, and that resistance that they face in life and in the gym. So believe in yourself, trust the process, practice patience, take pride in your reps, and I'll see you on the gym floor. Peace.